Yes, greetings, pharmacist SACCO members. My name I'm Dr. Derek Juko, the founder of Run My MBA. Firstly, I would like to thank the pharmacy SACCO leadership for giving me this opportunity to make this presentation. But then I would also like to especially acknowledge the Run My MBA team on ground that's making it possible to have this presentation. Now, the question sample would ask me is that what is Run My MBA? Run My MBA is an organization. We provide business solutions to pharmaceutical and healthcare businesses, and we basically strengthen them in areas of operations, marketing, management, business planning, investment, and so on and so forth. This year we have exciting news. We have actually been able to expand our services in providing advisory on importation and regulation. So for today's presentation, we're basically going to have a presentation as it stated, building financial stability through smart reviews of SACCOs. But most times when I'm beginning my presentations, I would like to begin with a story. So let me give you a very good story that this actually happened to me 2 weeks back. So I was with one of my colleagues who's a senior pharmacist. So he called me and was like, Derek, we need to go to a car bond and buy a car. So I was like, okay, no problem. Now I will take you around. So when we went to the car bond, of course, they showed us different cars. So my friend wanted to buy an SUV. And of course, and then I asked him, why do you want to buy an SUV? Do you really need it? So he was like, you know what, Derek, I've worked for a very long time. I cannot drive these small cars that these people who are just finishing university are buying. How will people see me, you know? So, okay, I was like, okay, yeah, of course, you have a very good reason of having an SUV. So they were showing us different SUVs, and then something kept on, in our conversations, we had a query that my colleague was always asking, was always wondering about the fuel consumption. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if you're choosing to buy an SUV, why should we worry about fuel consumption? Yeah, why should we worry about fuel consumption? So, what I picked from this story was about the financial stability, and that's what I want us to focus on in this presentation. What does financial stability mean for us, the medical workers, for us, the pharmacists? And interestingly, we were having jokes with one of my colleagues. So I told him, so what have you been doing with your life? Right now, if you're still complaining about a 3-liter vehicle, yeah, what have you been doing with your life? So we are basically asking ourselves these questions with our colleagues. Yeah, and it really hit both of us. It really beat both of us. So I hope that by the end of this presentation, all of us will have understood what financial stability looks like, but then also what role does the SACCO have in this journey of us being financially stable. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next slide. This presentation is not only for the employed professionals. Some people, when talking about financial stability, they think that people who are employed are the only ones that are going to be poor. So it is for the employed professionals, it is for the business owners, it's for those that are both employed and running a business, but also for those who are trying to plan to make a business. So this presentation is for all of us. So this is a financial reality, guys. I think most of us have seen stories where people who have worked in government for a very long time are being forcefully evicted from government houses. And some of these actually are medical workers. They are senior pharmacists. We have also seen people who refuse to leave some positions. Well-earning positions. You find someone probably has been having a job as a permanent secretary, where they've been having a lot of income, a lot of allowances. But the moment they tell them it's time to pack up, they just cannot leave. What am I trying to say? The financial reality is real. Yeah? And being real, it means that all of us, we continue to earn income. All of us continue to earn income. Yeah? But earning income alone doesn't mean that actually we are going to be financially stable. Being financially stable is a different game altogether. Yeah, and as you can see in the slide, we say that the side puts it out very clear. Yeah, after even generating a good income, savings of very many professionals will remain small. Yeah, most of the times we shall have limited investments. But the most important, the sad thing about it is that financial pressure is always increasing day by day. This is some of the discussion. Most times when I'm having discussion with my colleagues, and I'm like, you know what? 10 years from now, the financial pressures that we are facing will have increased. So what does that mean? It means that financial security, yeah, is no longer an option. It's no longer something that we can take for granted. Financial security is something that as pharmacists, we should start fighting to have, as we want to get the titles of doctors, as we want to be respected, we need to understand that the income that we earn alone is not enough to give us financial stability. Yes, for most of us, this is how our income cycle looks like. We get income, let's say from supervision, then of course we shall spend the income, and then of course spending the income, that means that upgrading our lifestyle, and then wait for the next income. Case in point, for most of the pharmacists, by the time we are leaving university, we want to get this supervision money. When someone gets a supervision money, the first thing they will have to do is to upgrade their lifestyle and buy a car. I think also when I got my first salary, I remember the first time my first year, I bought a car. Working 12 months, I was already driving. And I'm sure most of you attending the SACCO, probably you followed that income. So for most of the times, our income cycle is income, we get the income, we spend, then we wait for the next income. But the spending is we're always upgrading the lifestyle. I've got a colleague of mine who got a job with I think was it with NMS. These people were renting, I think, a house of around 300,000. The moment they got a job with NMS, the car that they were driving, you would imagine that probably maybe they've already constructed rentals. But anyway, that's the reality. That's the income cycle. That's how the income cycle looks. For most of, we are always looking to upgrade our lifestyle with the next good income. Yes. So to be financially stable, we need to break the income cycle. Like I said, income can come from business, it can come from employment, it can come from anywhere, but we need to break it because it's one which is breaking us. And breaking the income cycle, it means that we have to save consistently. That is very, very important. To invest strategically. Yeah? And now the last one, to use financial tools wisely. Now, one of the things that we're going to understand that the SACCO now comes in. The SACCO is a financial tool. Most times we can save consistently, we can invest strategically, but using a financial tool wisely is also part of the strategies we use to achieve financial stability. So, why are SACCOs so powerful? First of all, they give us a structured saving system. I think for most of us know that. You know that every month you have to save something. Then they'll give you access to affordable credit. I can assure you in some countries, actually SACCOs are stronger than banks. And I was recently reading a book that was, the writer was actually saying that as a family you can create your own bank and you no longer need to go to the bank and borrow, because remember that the banks are always charging us higher interest rates. So actually as SACCO members or even as pharmacists, we can have an objective of never going to get credit from the bank, yeah, or never getting loans from the bank, because loans are always having high interest rates. So access to affordable credit, I should say. I've also been a recipient of a loan from the SACCO and I've never complained. Collective financial strength. I think this is very evident. Yeah, you talk to the SACCO leadership, they'll tell you how much money we have as a SACCO, which shows that when we save collectively, our financial strength increases. Support during financial needs. I think this is something that the SACCO is working towards too, but also they've already implemented some of the initiatives where they provide support. So colleagues, if any of us is having access to money and we're not using it to produce more money, or we are not trying to learn how to use it to produce more money, we are making a strategic mistake and it will come back to haunt us in future. It may not be now, it may haunt us in future. And I'll still talk about the story I had with one of my colleagues when we had gone to buy a car, and he was still worried about the fuel consumption. That was showing that probably in his earlier years, he never put up any investment to cater for the fuel in the current state. Yeah. So the SACCO, most of us want to believe is that we join it to at least to have somewhere we can get extra money, because there are some projects that actually may need money that we don't have at that moment, and this is where the SACCO comes in through the SACCO loans. But having access to money itself doesn't mean that all is well. You need to know how to use it. And this is what this presentation is about. When you're getting a SACCO loan, make sure that that loan is supporting wealth creation. I'm not of a view of having SACCO loans for school fees. You'll forgive me, SACCO leadership, but I think we wouldn't, I would not encourage us to have SACCO loans for school fees. Yeah, SACCO loans for school fees. That is my own opinion. Any SACCO loan should be promoting wealth creation. Yeah, wealth creation. And this could be about starting or expanding a business, investing in land or property, purchasing productive assets, support during financial development. In other words, as pharmacists, we need to start asking ourselves, how can we deploy our money to create more money? That is what we should preoccupy our minds with. Not how can we deploy our money for it to go. How can we deploy our money to create more money? So that's when we were able to answer the question of strategic use of these loans that we get from the SACCO. So this is a simple wealth building model that usually, as in my MBA, we sometimes discuss with clients that we are talking about when we're discussing finances, and it's very simple. Save consistently. The SACCO gives us a platform to save consistently. Yeah, access credit responsibly. Accessing credit responsibly, it means that you are having a SACCO loan. Don't just access it because it's there. You need to learn how to use the money. It's one thing to have money. It's another thing is knowing how to use it. That's why some people take loans and they fail to pay them. Yeah. So after saving consistently, accessing credit, you need to be able to access it responsibly. Invest in income generating assets. If you have an opportunity early enough before you get responsibilities, yeah, you need to make sure that you invest in income generating assets, and then when you get the profits, reinvest them. I've seen most of us, the young people, we usually have this notion that we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, so let us enjoy. Yeah, you get all your profits and then you just eat them. Yeah, so this simple wealth building model is up for us to look through. But one thing I should tell you, you must have knowledge. Yeah, this thing is just not, you just copy and paste. There are certain stages where you need knowledge. Sometimes it may be about saving. You need knowledge on how much to save. Yeah, because saving is just not saving. Accessing credit, you also need knowledge on that, because there are some people actually who don't know how much money they should get. They really need some bit of guidance. Even in income generating assets, sometimes you need knowledge. Reinvesting profits also, it requires knowledge. So what am I trying to say? As we look at this slide as pharmacists, we also need to ask ourselves, how knowledgeable are we, especially in on these 4 points, yeah, of the wealth building model? That is something that I want to leave all of us to think about. Yeah, so most times when pharmacists approach me, especially those that have money, sometimes they ask me questions that, Derek, okay, I have this amount of money. Where can we invest in? And these are some of the several opportunities for financial growth pharmacists have for multiplying their money. I'm not saying that these are the only ones, but I could say these are the quick wins. Quick wins here, we say that these are things you can easily go into and you will not struggle to catch up in case you are intentional. Yeah, of course, I understand that most pharmacists have gone into several businesses. Even me, myself, yeah, I've also done businesses which are not related to pharmacy. Yeah, but I should say that these could be the quick wins that all of us, if you have an opportunity, would encourage you, because you could easily catch up. Because remember, you already know the drugs, you already know the system. So the first opportunity for financial growth for pharmacists is pharmacy ownership. And indeed, pharmacies which are owned by pharmacists who are very serious, they will always thrive. Pharmaceutical distribution, medical supplies businesses, but also health-related services and other business ventures. I'm not saying that pharmacists shouldn't invest in other businesses, but everything you must have knowledge. If you're investing in something you don't have knowledge in, just know you're going to pay a price for learning. For us, we call it school fees. Every time you go into a venture you don't understand, you're going to have to pay a price. Yeah, and SACCO financing can actually come in to help us unlock these opportunities. So now the question would be that, okay, as you're trying to be financially stable, how does the SACCO come in? Should the SACCO be part of your issues? Because the people want to do things privately, yeah, and they want to maybe think that they can do things on their own. But like we said, a SACCO is a financial tool, yeah, that you must have. At least it's not a must, but you'd wish to have, especially on your journey of gaining financial stability. And how does it help us? It's going to promote financial discipline. You know, these monthly savings, ever since I joined the SACCO, it's just always on my mind that every month when I get an income, I have to save. And indeed, the SACCO has really saved me in times when I could not go to anyone to get excess money. So the SACCO is going to help us promote financial discipline, which is very important in our financial stability journey. It provides us responsible and affordable credit. Just imagine the credit rate now with the Farmer SACCO is 15%. Last week I was talking to my banker and they were telling me now the banking rate is around 20 to 25%. You can just imagine that affordable credit you cannot get anywhere. Encouraging productive investments. Recently, I saw the SACCO leadership encouraging pharmacists to invest in land, and I'm sure they are still going to be having a lot of initiatives. So that's one of the role of the SACCO, supporting financial education. Like right now, I'm providing some sort of financial education courtesy of the SACCO. So just imagine, probably maybe if you're not part of the pharmacy SACCO, probably maybe you would have missed this presentation. And I do believe that after here, maybe you're going to learn a few things. So that's where the role of the SACCO comes in, that if you're not part of it, you would be missing out on a lot of things. So when I told my team that today we are going to attend the pharmacy SACCO, they were like, Derek, we have a lot of things. Why are we attending the pharmacy SACCO? I told them, no, for us, we are partners. Yeah, the fact that I am a pharmacy SACCO member, I have to make sure that at least I participate in the activities. So these are some of the services we want to provide to SACCO members. Some of them actually will be completely free, because we know that most professionals would actually want to invest and they keep on procrastinating, they keep on postponing. And why? Why do they keep on procrastinating? Sometimes they have limited business knowledge, and it's okay, because remember, just imagine you spend 4 years studying about pharmacy, studying about pharmacology. We don't expect you to know so much about business, unless maybe if you've grown up in a business environment, or maybe you've gotten some bit of exposure. Yeah, and then another thing why we fear investing as professionals, we have a lot of fear for starting. Indeed, I've been in that space. Weak financial planning. From experience, for most of the consultancies actually we've done with pharmacist colleagues, most of the time their businesses are failing because of financial planning. Operational systems, yeah, those ones that are having businesses, yeah, these are some of the challenges they face, poor operational systems. But now, as read by MBA, how do we come in to help? Yeah. So for us, we've been helping professionals, and maybe even for those of you that still have these questions, how do I multiply my money? Yeah, of course, multiplying money, most of the times you consider the business route. Of course, we have the savings. Savings, one way of multiplying your money. Yeah, saving, maybe you put in a unit trust. Yeah, you can put it in a business. Like I've talked about the quick wins for pharmacists. So as run my MBA, we are going to provide business advisory services. So we can evaluate your business ideas, we structure them, and then we make them ready for investment. We show you from point A to point B. We can help you with business planning. There are people that probably want to access money. Someone has, there's a colleague of ours that came and was like, I've gotten one of the rich uncles. He told me that he wants a plan so that he can start from a business. And yeah, fortunately, we help them come up with a plan, and right now they are running their business. So we can help with the business plan, operational support. Yeah, this is one of the biggest challenges we've seen with most of our clients, whereby they start up a business thrives, and then they lose control of the business. They don't know where it's going. Yeah, sometimes it's an issue of operations. They don't understand operations, or maybe when they're starting the business, they actually never paid attention to how things are done. Things were just doing themselves automatically until when they lost control. Training and mentorship. Yes, this is something that we do. So what am I trying to say is that as SACCO members, we all need to understand that multiplying money, yeah, it requires knowledge. It's not something that you're just going to wake up and start multiplying without acquiring knowledge. Sometimes you can acquire it on your own, but trust me, you're going to pay a price for that. There's always a learning curve. During the learning curve, sometimes many people will make mistakes, and during making those mistakes, they'll lose a lot of money. So when they lose a lot of money, standing up again on their feet becomes a bit hard. So for us as Run My MBA, we come on board and then we guide you. We prevent you from making certain mistakes that we've seen others make, but then also from our technical expertise, we can be able to come and prevent those mistakes. So like I said, our areas of specialization. Run My MBA, our specialization is basically healthcare and pharmaceutical businesses, but like I said, when we are dealing with business, there are principles that actually are shared across, yeah, all ventures. So we've had colleagues probably maybe who are going into, the pharmacists who approached me and they were like, Derek, I'm going into chicken farming. I need some bit of insights. Yeah, and indeed we went and shared and we helped them in some of the gaps that they had. So yes, right now we are mostly specializing in healthcare and pharmaceutical businesses. But in case, even when you have any idea, it could be just an idea of any business. Yeah, we can use business principles to help you navigate and you don't make a lot of mistakes. So one thing I would want to basically encourage all of us that have just joined the SACCO, especially the new members. I understand yesterday I was saying Dr. Osborne was trying to bring in new members. Then there are those that are partners that are joining the SACCO. Basically, I just want to continue encouraging us that you are not in the wrong place. This is the right place you are in. This is a financial tool that is part of your financial journey towards financial stability. The senior colleagues I've talked to, I've had a chance to talk to people probably even who are older than us. And some of the things probably they may regret is that they never took some of the things you guys are taking seriously. So I would want to encourage all of us, please, let's learn more about money. Let's learn more about investment. Let us look out for investment opportunities. And in case you get stuck, you need to understand that there is always a learning curve. Read my MBA, you can always be there to make your learning easy, to make your experience seamless. And I would say that a SACCO is more than a savings institution. Yeah, it's more than a savings institution. So it's basically a platform for financial empowerment and long-term wealth creation. So for those of you that want long-term wealth creation and financial empowerment, I would encourage you, please stay to the SACCO, please follow the advice, participate in the programs, and then we shall meet ourselves probably 10 years from now and we say we made the best decision. Thank you for your attention. Today we're having a special offer for SACCO members where we are selling our book, Pharmacy Business in Uganda, Mistakes to Avoid and Steps to Succeed. I would want to say that even if you don't have a pharmacy, this book should have it because it has business principles that you will still apply in the other ventures that you're having. Thank you very much. I want to wish you a good day and I'm very much humbled for this opportunity. Thank you.